What we start off with, you know what, let's get straight into it. Let's start off with a conversation around Mohamed Salah, and these links to him and PSG won't go away. It doesn't help, though, when it starts to get reported that he met with the PSG president and that they were talking about a potential deal. Now, thankfully, for once, Rami Abbas actually comes in with a W and said it didn't happen. That's the short story. But these links just won't go away. And I know I've mentioned this many times, but I still can't get over the naivety of himself, Rami Abbas, and the PSG president meeting up. I think it was before or after the Bournemouth game last season or something like that. That image has just led to this, and it won't go away anytime soon. And if you add into that the fact that PSG are in a bit of a messy situation at the minute, you know, Kylian Mbappe is staying, but he's going at the same time. You know, he's staying this season, but he wants to go on a free. PSG are having none of it, and they want to sell him and get some money. Then you take into account that Neymar could be off to Saudi Arabia or elsewhere, and Leo Messi is left. So PSG will probably need to bring in reinforcements, and it makes sense that they look towards Mohamed Salah. So I guess my question is, will this ever go away? Or will he eventually end up somewhere like PSG? I don't believe for 1 second that Liverpool have any interest in selling Mohamed Salah in this window, and nor do I have any belief that Mohamed Salah is trying to push for a move away from Liverpool Football Club. We all seen how disappointed Mo was at the collective failure of not reaching the Champions League next season, and I think a lot of us appreciated the honesty with which Mo posted that message at the end of the season. But for me personally, I think it was very naive when it happened, and I do think this will be a lazy link, but until we see an offer or until we get anything concrete, I think this is all this is. It's just newspaper talk. It's just waffle. And the great Egyptian should be staying at Anfield because the man has more records to break. So I don't think there's anything to it. But I guess it would be interesting to see what type of numbers would be mentioned for Mohamed Salah with his age and, of course, with his contractual situation at Liverpool. I would be very intrigued to see how much he's worth in the open market for nothing more than just curiosity. And is there a number perhaps for you guys that you think Liverpool could potentially do business at for Mo if something did come in? I've no indication that it will come in or has come in, but again, I don't like seeing these links for Mo moving away, and I don't like that image. I'll never be able to not see that image of those three sitting together in a restaurant. It just didn't look well, and I can't believe that they did it. I really can't. It's the height of stupidity. Unless, you know, you're maybe making a pathway for life after football or something like that, and that's entirely possible as well. Maybe they are just friends. I don't know. It just feels weird, and I think it has only led to this. Now, I want to say one more thing. I love Mo. Mo's a superstar. But there have been times where I felt there's been some questionable PR decisions in Mohamed Salah's camp. And I don't want another distraction. And I'm sure he doesn't want another distraction. And I'm sure Klopp doesn't want another distraction. But that season where we were will he, won't he, the whole season, that was no good to anybody. And I don't want to see Liverpool end up in another one of those scenarios because this is a big summer for us. And next season is a big season. We don't want to become a perpetual Europa League club. We want to be back in the Champions League. And heck, we want to win the the Europa League this season to get into the Champions League next one. So that's the first thing today. Second thing is, I'm sure you guys have seen the fixtures as well. We opened the season away against Chelsea, so shock horror, those fake links about, you know, the early kickoff away against whomever it was. I can't even remember because I didn't pay that much attention to it. Half, of course, showing up to be absolute pony once again. There has been some stuff from Di Marzio today about Federico Chiesa, namely saying that Liverpool were interested a couple of years ago. Liverpool spoke to him. He and his father decided that he wanted to stay in Italy, but the situation has evolved a little bit since then. Di Marzio was saying that the relationship for Chiesa and Allegri isn't what it once was. The financial situation at Juventus, of course, is one where they may have to listen to offers for some of their players. And he said that Chiesa is open to a Premier League move. That is it. I don't have any indication to say that Liverpool are about to make an offer or that Liverpool are even interested. But he is a player who is on the market. Speaking of players who are on the market, Leighton Clarkson is no longer on the market. Why? because today he completed his move to Aberdeen. Had a very good loan spell with them there last season, and this season he will be an Aberdeen player, so wish Leighton Clarkson all the best with that one. Hope he continues to enjoy his football up there in Scotland with the Dons. And a few other bits and pieces as well tonight that we will be going through. But ultimately, I want to know how you guys are feeling about all of this. And this is the big news, right? The Kefren Thuram stuff. That's what everybody wants to know about. Well, look, here's my honest assessment of where we are with Kefren Thuram. I was told yesterday that this deal is going to be done. Now, I didn't say it because I don't want to be that guy again. I don't want to be the guy who gets something and puts it out there and breaks it, because I'm very aware of what happened with Jude Bellingham. But all I can say to you is, at this point, I'd be astonished if this doesn't progress. What I can say to you, and I honestly don't know, is even if a deal is struck, will it be announced before the Euros? I truly don't know on this one. A couple of differentials between the possibility of Viega and Thuram. Viega, if he goes to the Euros and has a really good Euros with Spain, it won't affect his price because we know what it takes to buy him. So clubs, Liverpool or elsewhere, can look at the kid and say, right, 40 million euro after the Euros, that's how much buys him out. But with Thuram, you'll be wondering, does Klopp want to get it done before the Euros, even if it isn't announced until after the Euros? It will be interesting to see if this news starts to trickle out. And of course, we seen his agent yesterday, Rafaela Pimenta, taking a photograph at the Nice reception, and everybody started to wonder what it was. Now, of course, I went digging as soon as I seen that, and I did get the nod. And I did get the nod from somebody whom I deem very reliable. But I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be the one who comes out there and says, done deal. I'll leave that to somebody else. But put it this way, if I had 50 quid in my hand right now, it would be going on that. And it would be going on him becoming a Liverpool player. And I think that is the start of our midfield starting to take shape. Now, another question that everybody wants to ask is, if we got Thuram, is Kone next? Truth is, I don't know the answer to that. My gut feeling, and it's just a gut feeling, is that when Neil Jones and others said it might be one or the other, I kind of get that feeling myself. It would make more sense for us to maybe look to an attack-minded midfielder like Viega then. And on Barella, one really interesting thing on Barella, and it could be a nothing line, but I was reading the Echo earlier on, doing my research for tonight's show, and they were speaking about the link for Barella to Newcastle. And they were speaking about him as a former Liverpool target. So I don't know if that is done and dusted. I don't know if Liverpool have just ruled themselves out of Barella. But Stephen Warnock thinks we should be signing Declan Rice. And I absolutely agree with Stephen Warnock. The problem is, though, we also have John W. Henry as an owner. So we know that there isn't a hope in hell of Liverpool spending £100 million to sign Declan Rice. Arsenal today had an £80 million offer rejected. I think they want something closer to 100 or 120 million. So we'll wait and see how that one pans out. But that's where we're currently at. That's at least as much as I know. So over to you guys now. Let me know your thoughts.